this is like the third or fourth time about something happening on November the 8th, and someone saying that meteors were going to hit the Earth, or asteroids were going to hit the Earth on November the 8th. And I remember responding to a comment this morning. I don't know what video it was under, and I wanted to know where they heard it. And I saw also another comment that everything's going to change on the 8th because of something's going to happen, some kind of a strike or something on the 8th. But I don't know where they heard that a meteor or an asteroid is going to hit the Earth. Have you heard of that? Because I've been seeing comments and I've been ignoring it. And then I saw another one this morning that something big was going to happen. So I'm just wondering if this is something else that is circulating out there that has no value to it. Hello. Or is there really some type of a value added to it of something happening, you all? Because you've heard so much. I've heard so much. We've heard so much during the past few months of things that were to happen that never did happen. But you haven't heard a thing. I don't know where the information is coming from. Oh, now there's a November the 11th of November of 22. What's supposed to take place then? I think I might have seen that date also, but I can't remember. I see a lot of stuff, you all. So I am really curious if there's going to be like a meteor or something starting and stuff. Date flashes. What's date flashes? Yeah, if you wrote the comment on the YouTube channel about meteors or asteroids hitting on the 8th of November or something else, everything's going to change on the 8th of November, right? Could you please respond to this video? Hello there, Frank. Good morning, everyone. This is serious. I mean, it's really nice out today. You can see the sky. It was very white when I woke up. It really was, but now the sun is coming out. You've heard that asteroid measures 1.5 kilometers. There's going to be an alien and okay, alien invasion. Somebody did make a comment. What did they make the comment in? It was yesterday's video when I was in the basement. I'm saying this video's for you. They did Gina. When the aliens come, when they are something next week, they said don't do something. I did hear something about that. I did. So have you all heard it? Hello, Johanna. Have you heard anything about a meteor or an asteroid that is going to strike the Earth? And someone else just said an alien invasion. Well, that happened a long, long time ago. Yeah, and then more came. That's all right, you all. Divine or rising chaos. Can you all, if you got any knowledge of that? Because I know that some of these asteroids or meteors that they talk about, somebody does some hyperbole. They tell a lot of hyperbolizing. They use hyperbole about these asteroids and meteors. And I don't know who's doing it. I really don't. So do you have any knowledge of it? Now, granted, there was a serious event that took place at the observatories with the ships coming out of the clouds, and then Table Mountain doing that video, and then finding out last night that Table Mountain was all ablaze in certain areas of it in the Western Cape. It had caught fire, and the firefighters were trying to contain the fire, but they couldn't get to a lot of it because of the low-lying clouds on the mountain, which was, and if you've seen that video, there's a interdimensional ship all the way across the top of the mountain. from there. That was really shocking, you all, to see the great big interdimensional ship stretching all the way across on that news channel. Someone had wrote that that was old footage, and then I thought, are you saying that the news was telling a big fat fib, more or less? The asteroid has such a big mass, Tony, thank you. It can be more affected by gravitational forces, which can make his path change. Oh, you heard about the asteroid. Okay. You heard it could be a planet killer, depending on what angle it would hit. A planet killer. So if there's like an asteroid coming, then if it would be like a planet killer, then the elites of the world would be making their way into their bunkers, and they wouldn't come out. You'd see people like disappearing from the scene. They'd have a news story about them. They came down with you something, and something happened to them, and they just disappeared. But if that happened, if you think about it, what would happen to all the change that has now occurred on the face of this earth? What would happen to it? Would it all be undone? Would it? Something like that. My hair is kind of sticking up right there. That's fine. Oh, Elenin. Is that, you talking about the Elenin comet? I tracked that back when it was around. And they said that it had dissolved. I remember the news was following it, that Elenin. And it didn't get destroyed because I saw it back on there. And they did not tell the truth. It did not get destroyed or dissolved in the sun. It went on its trek. Put your seatbelt in because we're in for a bumpy ride. It burnt up. Okay, the earth leveling. Oh, that's what Ella means, earth leveling event. A massive asteroid almost as large as the world's tallest building. Oh, well, I've done several videos on that too months ago. One as tall as taller than the Empire State Building. I think they were saying the equivalent would be like a 400 and some odd feet tall, or 700 feet tall or long. And then it kind of reminded me of the Oumuamua asteroid. The Oumuamua asteroid, which they say was the first interstellar visitor to Earth. The Oumuamua. How did they decide that that was the first interstellar visitor? A visitor would mean that would have some type of a significance to it. A visitor, some interstellar traveler came. I'm getting a little hot. Okay, I am. The ships you see are the Anunnaki. Then if they were the Anunnaki ships, then I have documented the Anunnaki ships since 2018, coming in by the thousands. There are some that say that they are the Galactic Federation of Light. They do. NASA classified the asteroid 2022 RM44 as a potentially hazardous due to the predicted path close to the planet. The asteroid is about 750 meters in diameter, just short of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. Is that the date, Linda? The 8th? Is that the date of the 8th? Oh, is that what Roger said it was, Tony? The finger of a gigantic finger? Yeah, for those of you all who did not know, I have personally talked to Roger on the phone several times, and he's done some studying of the plasma. He did actually a video on the plasma that I was capturing at one time. It's really spot on, and he's been kind of isolated from his field of study by the academia, which is not nice. Yeah. The Galactic Federation, you don't think so. Beware of it. Ascend. I saw something about Ascend. I saw this video heading. Okay, the ascension has took place, and only 0.5% or 1% or something of the populace was able to ascend into the fifth dimension. I seen a heading of a video like that, and I thought, you spoke about how the earth has ascended and only a fragment ascended into the fifth world who are able to see in the fifth world. That's what they said in this heading of this video, and I thought, that's what I thought like. Have I seen the ships that change the colors or all the black ships that are close to the sun? I have seen them. You all, if you're just tuning in, I've been seeing comments about something like an asteroid or meteor striking, hitting the earth around November the 8th. It's like a game changer or something like that. And I'm trying to find out if you heard it and what are the origins of that. And several people have written in here about NASA said this comment was things like that. Justice, honey, I'm staying in my body until this vessel is done. Then my spirit is exiting this body. When my time on earth is done, most people will ascend. Some will go. You'll start to see things you've never seen before that we have lived through our entire life. Okay, let me read this, Linda, honey. It is expected to pass Earth on Tuesday, coming roughly 2.3 million kilometers from our planet at about 23,470 kilometers. That's the equivalent of 6 times the distance of the moon from the Earth. So that's not too close at all. It isn't. Yeah. So I'm wondering why, because there's been several. There's been at least 3 or 4 of that size within the past few months that I've heard of coming to the Earth or coming near the Earth. And I've seen sensationalism in headlines, sensationalizing it as planet killer and whatever, all this kind of stuff. And then that came and then nothing happened. That's why I'm wondering why. Yesterday you saw your astrophotography, a huge rock, the Oumuamua. Well, it would not be surprising if you did see like a huge rock and it was like a form of a different life form on that rock or inside that rock, like a microbial life form or something bigger than that. There's another side that is here to help too, but it's fighting for humanity not to use it. There's someone above them even pulling their strings. Well, that kind of makes sense too. It really does. So I'm not certain that that such said event will cause a cataclysmic or a major disruption in our lives, but something else most definitely could cause such an event to occur that would be very disturbing to our way of life. It was announced out of the blue. Oh, Linda, that's interesting. Who announced that? Was it NASA who did that? Is that what you said? Out of the clear blue. And did it show up out of the clear blue? And if something does get affected, if something does hit the Earth, could it be from a interstellar ship? Could it be from something else up there in orbit causing stuff like that? Probably more fear than you know. Skeptic. You've heard nothing of it, Diana Trainee, honey. Yeah, so when you say false flag event, will there be an event or will it be a hyped up, fictitious event that does not even occur and life goes on as normal? Will it be that type of an event? Or will something else cause something and it will be blamed on an asteroid or a meteor? You heard it won't hit. Oh, you just read, oh, you read it in the Austin newspapers? Oh, wow, that's really interesting. It is. The 8th, be prepared all. Skak Park to think, keep doing this to make us more afraid. Who is Scap Park? Never heard of Scap Park. I haven't, but I know a lot of things have happened. Bored of the Borg and the corrupt narrative. You're bored of the Borg. I really am starting to believe that the Borg exist in some shape or fashion, and that it's not just make-believe as was seen in Star Trek. The Borg, I think it's the concept of it and or maybe the materialization of it is already here. The Golden Gate Bridge to go down. Michael, A99, I've not heard of that. Sandra Bullock, you've heard about that well. The chemtrail really covering. What was that? What was that bridge that came down in Seoul, Korea? Was that in Seoul, or was that somewhere else? You hear about a major bridge falling down that could have been in another country, collapsing. Oh, it was India. Thank you, India. You are in India, and really was it? Was and 100 people, over 100 people died. Was that a major thoroughway for the people, like one of the major transit areas? Because I saw that headline and I was trying to see about it. You feel like drinking lately and you quit a while back. Well, don't drink. Okay, if it is a stumbling block, don't do it, because one drink will lead to another and you might find yourself with that same stumbling block again. In India, you will. So if you're just tuning in, I'm just trying to gather information about what's being said about the November the 8th, like an asteroid and or a meteor. And it was announced out of the blue. You can read it from the comment section. Yeah. Truth. Oh, let me read that. Truth is the first casualty. I like that. I really do like that. Yeah, that is true. It's the biggest headline. Oh my gosh. Fairy Girl, in Austria, it's the biggest headline for some weird reason. Well, if it's being pushed out there like that, and we know that the news is like generally the same everywhere, when it's the same story, then there's something going on. Everyone needs something to believe in. I believe I'll have another drink. 2 years and counting, don't stop. T Prada, just joking. I don't know what you said, T Prada. A lunar eclipse on the 9th. You used to drink quite a bit, but you've been pretty much stopped. Well, it's a good thing since the price of alcohol is going through the roof. You may not be able to afford it. You may want to spend your money on something other than that. Yeah. 28 hours straight, Justice. 48 minutes, up to 2 to 4 hours, slept 2 hours, up another 6 hours. Too much energy. You cannot turn off your brain. You saw the story, Majola, and images of the bridge collapsing yesterday. You haven't heard about the asteroid. Oh, okay. There's my news lady. Yeah. I said, there's my news lady. No, it's the mail lady, bringing packages. or my mail delivering it to my driveway, the news lady. Um, Hello. The end of the world was on Bing yesterday, Michael. Isn't that weird? The end of the world. Don't they know it's the end of the world? And it started when I fell for you. The magnetic pole will be at 40 degrees mark in 5 months. Okay, you all, if you're just tuning in, we're just trying to find out. Oh, you all haven't been turning the camera around. I do have, it's sunny out, which is great. The sun feels really nice. So, if there were an asteroid to hit, I know they've done movies about it. Asteroids or meteors hitting and it's life-changing. And someone said something about the ark. Somebody said, don't you get it, Gina? You still don't get it, Gina. I've told you what's going on and you still don't get it. They've built the arks and they're going into the arks. That's what they said. You stopped being able to afford it in 2009. Wow. Watching from New Zealand, you finally let me live, Georgia Kane. Well, I'm glad you did. Isn't that where Xena was filmed in New Zealand? Xena, the warrior princess. I kind of liked the character Callisto or whatever she was. She was wild. She was. That was her arch enemy. Yeah, that's right, you are. Xena, the warrior princess. I watched it for a long, long time and then I quit watching it. I thought, yeah, that's right. He says there will soon be huge volcanoes. Somebody also said when I was doing that Table Mountain fire thing about they reported it on the news over the weekend. It was all ablaze, certain areas. Someone was talking about earthquakes and stuff, and I think the tectonic plates moving, some kind of shift, something coming, increase, uptick in the earthquakes and the volcanoes. And would an asteroid or a meteor have that type of a gravitational effect on the Earth? Would it? Yeah, if we're gonna go, let's see, go through asteroid hits, it'll be gone fast. Yeah, and you won't suffer. You're just like, boo, that's the end of you. Yeah. There is a big magma pool arising, Tony, in where is it located? Is it by Kilauea or one of the other smaller areas? Oopsie, Gina, honey. Oh, Georgia Kane, are you talking about carbon thing? I think I saw something about that a while back. I think I did. That's silly. Um, it reminds me of the microbial life, and there is a life form that existed with carbon or something. Let me ask you this. What, you remember the coming of the vril? And they said the vril actually wasn't like a new species of a being or something. It was actually some kind of substance that people took. It was it like a black substance or something? It was like an energy, the energy of the vril, and it gave them the abilities to do whatever they wanted. Um, no, I didn't see the closed area in Canada. U.S. and Canada and Russia, something like that. The black goo or something like that. Yeah. You haven't heard of the meteors, and you're troubled by the fact that you thought we lived in a free country when you tried to watch a video on YouTube. It said not available in your country. I believe it. I bet, I know Germany does that, and if you go against their standards, your video cannot be seen in Germany. Um, let's see, is the, you know, and something about something about Og. Somebody mentioned something about the return of Og or something too. Oh, I'm buffering? How interesting. Maybe I need to stay away from that end of the porch is what I probably need to do. Don't go that far. Don't go beyond what is written, they say. Do not go beyond what is written. And I say, okay, all right. I do like the I like the color of this algae or moss on the tree, the locust tree. Okay, that's just random. Um, oh, I'm not buffering for you. The third, I've never heard of the third testament. I haven't. Of the writing of many books, there is no end, and much study wearies the body, and it really does. Um, they're going to count, they're going to Mount Sinai and making, oh, really, Badger Girl? I haven't heard that. On the 8th? Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, we got a blood moon on the 8th. On November the 13th. Oh, Kyrian, I don't like that club. I don't. You know what? Okay, this red shoe club reminds me of the ruby slippers on the Wizard of Oz. She wanted that wicked witch wanted the ruby slippers, and Dorothy had them, and she put them on her feet and tapped her feet together. I want to go home. I just want to go home, and then she was back at home. Yeah. The Kabbalah Mecca stone, I can't recall right offhand. I know I've read something about it, the emerald. It was in Germany. Yeah. Well, where I live, it is becoming more populated out here in the country because the farmers are selling their lands. Some people are selling their lands because um, they cannot afford to farm anymore. And they can't afford the feed or the nitrogen or any other stuff for their fields. And as they sell their lands, things get things built on them and increase traffic to roads and stuff. Cheryl, honey, what did you say? They're not having meetings on the 8th. Are they not having meetings on the 8th on that? Where's that at? Somebody's got a theory. Linda, honey, you got a theory on here? What, I can go back in the chat just a tad bit. If I can see it, and if your theory ain't on here, then the algorithm probably got rid of your theory because I didn't touch nothing. So let it be written. So let it be done. You're quoting the movie, 1,000 acres. We just sowed 1,000 acres. I am out. Oh, yeah. I don't know about the diesel here. I haven't really been keeping much up to date on any of that stuff. Right here, I've just been doing my own thing, trying to reorganize and getting rid of stuff that I really don't need. One drop of something is equivalent to, yeah. Okay, you all. So if you haven't heard anything about the meteors or asteroids hitting on the 8th of November, what have you heard? Because somebody said something's going to happen and everything's going to change on the 8th of November. And I remember responding to the comment. And what if these asteroids or meteors do not hit on the 8th of November? And where did you get that information? That's what I said. And I left it at that. Yeah, it does feel good to Get rid of things you no longer need, and give it to people who may need it. Falling stars. Oh, the blood moon. Average American spends 18,000 years in non-essential items. I believe it. I really do believe it. I wonder if they say food is not essential. You know, you buy groceries and stuff, not eating out all the time, but groceries, eating out all the time, and buying lots of clothes and expensive vehicles and all of that kind of stuff. Oh, Carrie. Silent, quiet weapons for silent wars. Um, oh, a blood moon on the 8th of November. Oh, Watchman, what they are telling you is an asteroid is actually Ezekiel's wheel. Nothing will happen because predictions always go wrong, like September the 24th. Yes, I did a video on this 24th of September. I did several follow-up videos and nothing happened. But I guess it got people to thinking of something other than the... It's got a ladybug on my neck. Yeah, something happening. Yeah, so it took their mind off of what was happening in the world. Really, it did. Asteroids, Merkaba, starships. There was something of Mars turned blue. Did somebody see that? Mars turned blue. It's been announced on CNN. That means it's closer than we think. Get the money, Jones. What's been announced on CNN? The asteroid? Joni, the Club 3, I hope it hits me. Gina, you got so much food stored up, you're giving it away and you're homeless. You got so much food stored up, you're giving it away and you're homeless. Okay. The Watchers for the Most High also said the Watchers for the Adversary has a place in the heavens sky for war on earth, and there are also soldiers on the earth, on the ground, that have not been activated spiritually. I like that phrase, activated spiritually. I can resonate with activated spiritually. I really can. I wonder if these asteroids brought that new type of, yeah. Well, microbial studies was one of NASA's biggest studies, microbial. And a lot of funding went into the study of microbial life. And all they need is a host. All they need is a host like you or me, microbial life, right? I think I hear a squirrel up in the tree throwing stuff down. 6 foot, Linda, 6 football fields wide. That's pretty big. That's really large, 6 football fields wide. When Jesus is not saved big flood generation if he loved everyone. Yeah. So, did we have Applebrooks sneak in here? I haven't seen Applebrooks in here. I haven't. You think we are avatars? Well, that could quite possibly be in some sort of thought process. It really could be. I really don't see why it wouldn't be. Something will bring peace in these trying times. Well, we need peace. We really do. The Taurids, meteors, are between Mars and Jupiter is closer than normal. Um, could asteroids be wormwood in Revelation? Well, that'd be a lot of, the waters turning bitter. And is like a third of the waters and things like that. U was activated back in 2015, eyes wide open. Um, you have a theory that when you say something about something, it won't happen. Oh, that's really interesting of a theory. And it really is. Wormwood is coming. We are supposed to have bad weather this week. CH, where are you having the bad weather? I know that we've had like some kind of weather that was really strange. Well, actually, it wasn't strange. It was just like a heaviness in the air, and the sky was gray and stuff. See, oh, in Texas and Oklahoma. That's interesting. Gina, look at the sun early in the morning before it gets so bright. It's being said that when you can see the asteroids, well, let me tell you about the sun in the morning before it gets so bright. The sun comes up over my tree line right here is in the way, and I can't see the sun until it gets up in the sky because I'm high up on I'm higher elevation when that sun rises, so I can't see it from where I'm at. They said you can see it when the sun is rising. Don't trust Steve Ben Nunn. I've never heard of it. He claimed January for an impact. I've been hearing something else about a January too. Something's coming in January, and I'm thinking dates keep getting pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed. Oh, you can hear me now. I think maybe if I get too close to that part of the porch, it doesn't like it. That's okay. That's right. You will own nothing, and you'll be very happy. I guess as long as you have the clothes on your back and you have love inside your heart. If you have food, clothing, and shelter, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. I could kind of see how if you were free in your body and stuff, and you had food, clothing, and shelter, you could be happy. If no one was controlling you, I could see that. Observing the dates, they want us to now. So something's supposed to be coming, you all. A meteor or asteroid, and it's in the newspapers. Let me see if I got it right. It's in the newspapers in Austria or Australia. Or on the news, you're hearing it on the news. It's being pushed that something is coming. CNN said one of the asteroids is 1.5 kilometer wide. Yeah, we've seen that. Earth's path in the future difficult. We're living through the revelation. You like this show, and everyone in here is love. Love. Yeah, keep your soul. Hello there in Washington State. Something is coming. Well, okay. If you listen to what's not being said on the geopolitical spectrum and in the world of known events that are happening, yet much information about known events that are currently happening, current events, much of the information is like stifled. You get fragments, little bitty fragments. So you have to be able to decipher those little fragments and put the pieces of the puzzle together so that you can see a bigger picture. There are things happening, and some will have the ability, and some do, to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Isn't it? Isn't it mid-November when the unions of the transportation industry for the supply chains, is that when they make their final decision after Congress comes back from their break? After that is when that decision is made. Here's what I saw. I saw this thing. If you are going to put your orders in for such and such, make sure you get your orders in by December something because of the supply chain issues, is what they said. By December, whatever orders it was, I don't even know where I seen it. Something up there in the sky. We're trying to rip the veil and rewind time because they're trying to avert prophecy, which they think they have done numerous times through the reset. I love it, Watchman. That kind of resonates with me too. It does. It really does. Honolulu. Last night you watched the Hawaii live cam with you last night. Aw, Dana, honey, that's wonderful. I used to live there too, on Hickam Air Force Base. My favorite place to go was the North Shore and visit the bamboo forest, but I did not like Diamond Head one single bit. Did not like it. Truth Decoded. Before Christmas. What's before Christmas? What are you talking about? Or go without? ZZP69. What's before Christmas? The rising phoenix of the Most High. The wake up and purge the evil from the face of the earth. I'm trying to see if we never really die. Your dogs are glued to you most of the days. Hello, Misha. Your final order of Chinese goods, and they will close the trade gates. Oh, CH. Yeah. Get your patients nice gifts. You might inherit them. Oh, get your parents nice gifts. Well, if you get anything, you might want to get something that's very useful, that you can use, that will, you know, yeah. Oh, I bodyboard. I love doing the bodyboard in Hawaii. I did. That was really fun doing that body surf, with that. And I try to stand up. I don't like that. It's too dangerous. I could fall and hurt myself. At least with the bodyboard, the wave, at least with the bodyboard, even though the wave, it can take you and to slam you down and flip you over. At least it was a bigger portion of my body on it. That's right. But I did like it. Okay, is the U.S. currency going digital currency? They have a timeline, I think they have a complete thing by the 2025. Everybody should be on par with that, but it won't go completely away. It is really fun. So if a meteor is to strike, or an asteroid, you all, that's the thing. And it's being pushed in some countries, and it's on the news, and it was announced all of a sudden by NASA. I think that's how it was said. And yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see, and we're going to keep an update on this. We really are. If the said thing that some are saying is literally going to happen, because it could be earth-changing or something like that. Today, it was in the news in Canada. They closed the largest, stock exchange, and the trading is halted, fairy girl. Wow. Did I swim with the sea turtles? Actually, we went snorkeling, is what we did. Went snorkeling. That was really beautiful. Snorkeling. I still have all my gear too. I have all my gear here, and I don't know if I can fit in my wetsuit. I probably could fit in it and zip it up. I got a half one and then a full body suit. Yeah. Ah. Well, one time I almost stepped on a snowflake eel, and I didn't realize. I thought, oh, that's so pretty. And even though I had my one shoes on, the water shoes, I looked down and I thought, oh, wow, that's really deadly when I found out about it. Um, you had the end of the calendar, on the end of the calendar for November the 8th. Okay. Um, Look, do your homework. The ships have left the sea at the flight of logs. The flight logs. At the flight logs. Oh, Mariana, November the 8th. Um, yeah, DSB, no, I didn't want to. It was very beautiful. It really was, but very deadly. Um, and I never got stung by jellyfish. Canada's exchange is back up and running now. That's great. You have to ask yourself when that happens, what happens? Who causes something like that, you all? If there is a life-changing event coming, if those asteroids or meteor strike, it's going to hit the Earth, you're going to see some major things happening in the news, major movements of things out of the blue, and you're thinking, wow, why is that happening? And then you can say, well, I guess because something's coming, and this is why these things are happening. Um, yeah, I really wouldn't want that to happen. Even the most prepared person would not want that to happen because even though you've been preparing for something like that all your life, to actually have it happen, you don't know what you'll do until you're in that actual situation, and you may not be as prepared as you think you are. The flash petrified jellyfish. Oh, that's terrible. I don't even know how that would happen. A petrified jellyfish. The asteroid that will hit the Earth will be undetected because it will come from the sun's side and it's really hard to track. Egypt, November the 6th. Oh, hmm. Yeah, the hard pressed to understand why the wicked, these people, do these things. A planet killer, planet killers, asteroid spotted hiding in the sun's glare. Is that what's the headline? Noah's Ark in the movie 2012. I'm sure they do. Excuse me. Lots of factors of, I thought you said Beethoven. Yeah, I like, that song. Rock Me Amadeus. That's a pretty cool song. It really is. It had a good beat to it. Something big is coming. Be well and be safe, you all. From the other side of the sun, and it's red. You must speak in French and not English. Never heard of that, Jay Farish. In Canada? You must speak in French and not English. Well, that's not very nice. It really isn't. Because there's a lot of people. Kitty, honey, what you doing? You coming outside, Kitty? Okay. Yeah, her had to come outside. That's not very nice to say that if they're going to try to implement that. Could you imagine if they did that to here? You must be able to speak English. It's a law. I don't think that's nice. I don't. There's another one coming on January the 5th. A phoenix is a representation of the terrestrial wicked evil paradigm, the Most High. Yeah, it isn't nice. Yeah. After the dust settles, the asteroid That is when Russia and China will invade this country. Wow, that's a thought. Lisa Kamasarana. That would be a good strategy from a war point, of view, a tactical point of view, strategic. Have an asteroid or something coming and knock out the grid and stuff, and everything's in all confusion. And then boom, it's time to get your forces on the ground, you all. Then you have that red October thing, but it ain't October. Yeah. Um, I've heard something about a Tom Horn before, and you all have. Yeah. I am going to go, you all. I've almost been on here for 1 hour, but I want to see if you heard about a meteor or an asteroid coming on November the 8th, because I've seen several comments on it, and I was wondering where it was originating from. And through this comment section right here, from Linda and a lot of other people, NASA announced it, I guess, out of the blue, and it's been on the news stations around the world and newspapers around the world, and some people have heard about it happening, and some people haven't. I didn't. That's why I was wondering. Yes, you all have a great day, and thank you all for coming on here. And we're going to keep up to date on this and see if there's any changes on the Earth that we notice with the human population and logistics and stuff like that. We're going to bring it up because so we can keep tab on, see if any major movements occur. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And y'all click this like button on here. Hit that subscribe button. And yeah, thank you once again. You all, love you.